Adamu was a professional shoemaker, known in his neighborhood for crafting strong and stylish shoes. He had inherited his small shop from his late father, Baba Adamu, a poor but hardworking man who spent his entire life making shoes for the people. Baba Adamu was well respected, not because he was rich, but because he was kind. He never turned away a customer, even if they could not afford to pay immediately. Sometimes he would fix a child torn slippers for free or gave out shoes for credit, trusting that people would pay when they had money. But despite his good heart, life had been tough for him. He worked from sunrise to sunset, yet he remained poor, barely making enough to feed himself and his only son Adamu. At just 25 years old, Adamu was struggling to survive just like his late father. Every day, he sat in a small wooden shop, repairing and making shoes for his customers, hoping to make enough money to eat. The shop was old, with faded walls and leaking roof, but it was all he had. He had no wife, no family, only the worn-out shoemaking tools his father left behind. Some days, business was good, and he could afford a full meal. Other days, he would go to bed hungry, listening to the sounds of the night as his stomach rumbled. But in that shop, there was one shoe that had always puzzled him. It was an old, polished leather shoe, placed carefully on the highest shelf. Adamu had never seen his father wear it when he was still alive, and no one had ever asked to buy it. It looked different from the other shoes, strong, shiny, and almost new, even though it had been in the shop for as long as he could remember. From time to time, he would wipe the dust off it and put it back, wondering why his father never sewed or wore it. Sometimes he had thought about selling it himself. He needed the money, and the shoe looked valuable, but something always held him back. Whenever he touched it, a strange feeling would creep over him, like a whisper in the winds, telling him to leave it alone. One evening, after a long and tiring day, Adamu sat in his shop, staring at the shoe. The sun had set, and the marketplace was quiet. He reached for the shoe again, running his fingers over the smooth leather. Why did Baba keep this shoe? He muttered to himself. It felt heavier than a normal shoe, as if it carried a secret his father never told him. Little did he know, his life was about to change forever. One quiet afternoon, Adamu had no customers. The sun was high in the sky, and the heat made him feel drowsy. He sat on his wooden stool, resting his chin on his palm, staring at the shoe on the shelf. The shop was silent, except for the occasional sound of footsteps outside. He murmured to himself, "This leather shoe is very fine. Maybe it will look good on me." For years he had ignored the shoe, but today something about it felt different. Maybe it was the boredom, or maybe it was the way the sunlight reflected on its polished surface. His curiosity grew stronger. He finally gave in. Slowly, he stood up, climbing onto the stool and reaching for the shoe. It felt warm in his hands, warmer than it should have been. He dusted it again, wiping away the little specks that had gathered over time. As he ran his fingers over the leather, he noticed how unusually soft it was, almost as if it was alive. Strange, he whispered. He hesitated for a moment, then took off his old, worn-out sandals. Carefully, he slipped his right foot into the shoe. It fit perfectly, as if it had been made just for him. Then he put on the left shoe. At that moment, something strange happened. A cold shiver ran through his body, starting from his feet and spreading to his head. It was not the kind of shiver one felt on a cold night. This was different. It was as if an unseen force had just entered him. The hair around him seemed to change. The walls of his shop, the wooden stool, the tools scattered on the table. Everything felt distant, like he was seeing them from a dream. He took a deep breath and stood up, feeling slightly dizzy. He looked around, but nothing seemed out of place. His shop was the same. The street outside was the same. He shook his head, laughing at himself. What kind of feeling is this? He muttered. Just then, the sound of footsteps interrupted his thoughts. A customer entered the shop, a middle-aged man, with a tired look on his face. He stopped at the entrance and called out, Adamu, Adamu, are you here? Adamu frowned. The man was standing right in front of him. Why was he calling? As if he was not here. I am here, Adamu said, stepping forward. The man did not react. Adamu waved his hand. Baba, I am here now. What do you want to buy? Still, no response. The man turned his head, left and right, looking around in confusion. Where is this boy now? He rumbled. Adamu's heart skipped a beat. A strange fear gripped him. Can't he see me? He whispered. His breath quickened. He stepped closer to the man and waved both hands in front of his face. Nothing. It was as if he had become a ghost. His eyes widened in shock. Something was very, very wrong. Adamu's heart started beating fast. He looked down at himself. His arms were still there. His feet were still there. But the man could not see him. His breathing became shaking. As panic rushed through his body, he ran to the wall mirror, hanging on the wall. His bare feet, making quick, nervous step on the dusty floor. His eyes widened in horror. When he saw nothing, no reflection, the mirror showed only the wooden wall behind him. I am invisible, he whispered in shock, his voice barely escaping his lips. He stretched out his hands, waving them in front of the mirror, but still there was nothing. It was as if he had disappeared from the world. Meanwhile, the customer, tired of waiting, sighed and shook his head. This boy is not serious, he muttered, turning around and walked away. As soon as the man left, Adamu's heart pounded even harder. His hands trembled as he quickly bent down and removed the shoe. Within seconds, he was visible again. A deep gasp escaped his lips as he stared at his hands. They were back. He turned to the mirror, and there he was, his own frightened face, staring back at him. Sweat dripped down his forehead. His legs felt weak, and he collapsed onto the wooden stool, breathing heavily. His entire body was covered in goosebumps. What just happened? Was this magic? A curse? A blessing? He sat there for a long time, gripping the shoe in his shaking hands, unable to believe what he had just experienced. That night, Adamu could not eat. He could not sleep. His small room felt too hot, too small. He lay on his mat, staring at the ceiling, his mind racing. How did Baba keep this secret For so many years, he wondered, why did he never tell me? The shoe had been in the shop for as long as he could remember, yet his father never spoke about it, never wore it, never even let anyone touch it. Had Baba known what the shoe could do? If he did, why did he hide it? Was it dangerous? A part of Adamu wanted to leave the shoe alone, to forget about it and continue his simple life. But another part of him felt something stronger: curiosity, excitement, and temptation. The next morning, he went to his shop as usual. But he did not walk. He just sat there, staring at the shoe. Customers came and went, but he barely noticed them. His mind was elsewhere. His heart was troubled. But deep inside, he knew this was an opportunity. If I can be invisible, then I can go anywhere, take anything, and nobody will know. He thought. For the first time in his life, Adamu felt the weight of a dangerous choice, and he was not sure if he had the strength to resist it. He smiled to himself. For the first time in his life, he felt powerful. He, Adamu, the poor shoemaker, had something no one else had, a gift that could change his life forever. But fear held him back. What if I get caught? He wondered, what if something goes wrong? So he waited. He spent the entire day battling with his thoughts. But as night fell, excitement slowly drew out his fear. That night, when the town was silent, the streets were empty, Adamu locked his shop, put on the magic shoe, and disappeared. The moment he became invisible, a strange thrill ran through his body. He could feel his heart pounding in his chest. But there was no turning back now. He stepped out of his shop, his bare foot brushing against the cold dusty ground. As he moved into the night, at first he walked carefully, unsure of himself. He waved his hand in front of a small boy sleeping by the roadside. No reaction as he slept, completely unaware of the invisible man standing before him. Adamu's confidence grew. He moved closer to a stray dog lying near a pile of garbage. He reached out and touched his rough fur. The dog sniffed the air, ears twitching, but he did not see him. Excitement rushed through him. This is real. His fear faded, replaced by something new. Possibility. What could he do with this power? How far could he go? He needed to test it. He walked majestically through the quiet streets, his footage making no sound. His first thought was to go to the palace of the community chief to see if he could sneak in and out without being noticed. But he quickly changed his mind. There were guards there, strong men. It was too risky for a first attempt. Instead, he went to the nearest supermarket. It was still open, its bright lights standing out in the darkness. Through the glass windows, he could see shelves stocked with food, drinks, and expensive goods he could never afford. Malam Isa, the shopkeeper, stood at the counter counting money. He was a fat man with a thick beard, always wearing his white kaftan and cap. He was known for being sharp eyes and strict. Never allow anyone to take even a small items without paying. But tonight, things were different. Adamu stood just outside the door, invisible, watching. His heart pounded. He could go inside right now, take anything he wanted, and walk away without a single person knowing. His hands trembled with excitement. But then a small voice in his head whispered, "Are you sure about this?" He swallowed hard. His legs felt stiff, frozen in place. If he did this, there was no going back. His future was about to change forever. Adamu walked past the customers and stood right in front of Malam Isa. His hands trembled slightly as he reached towards the pile of money on the counter. His heart pounded so loudly, he feared someone might hear it. With one swift movement, he grabbed a handful of cash. The crisp notes felt real in his hands, warm, familiar and powerful. A shiver of excitement ran through his body. "I am doing it. I am making money. And nobody knows." Malam Isa paused. His fingers stopped moving over the notes as he frowned, sensing something was off. He looked around, scratching his head, his small sharp eyes scanning the shop. But there was nothing unusual. Adamu held his breath. Malam Isa shrugged and continued counting. Adamu's confidence grew. He reached for more money. This time, he grabbed a thicker bundle, stuffing it into his pockets. He glanced around. Nobody noticed. The customers in the shop were busy picking items from the shelves, talking and minding their business. The security guard at the door was half asleep, leaning lazily against the wall. Adamu wanted to laugh, to scream in victory, but he held himself back. His fingers twitched with excitement as he felt the stolen money pressing against his pockets. Still invisible, he carefully stepped back, moving towards the exit. He walked past the guard, through the open door, and into the dark street. The moment he was outside, he slipped behind a wooden store and quickly removed the magic shoe. Within seconds, he became visible again. Taking a deep breath, he straightened his clothes, dusted off his shirt, and stepped back onto the road as if nothing had happened. He walked casually, pretending to be just another passerby, enjoying the night breeze. But inside, his heart was racing with triumph. By the time he reached his small shop, his hands were sweating. He locked the door behind him, hurried to his wooden table, and emptied his pockets. Money, so much money, fell onto the table. His fingers trembled as he counted the notes. 500 naira, 1000 naira, 2000 naira. He kept counting. 15,000 naira. Adamu fell back into his chair, breathing heavily. He stared at the pile of cash, his lips slowly stretching into a smile. At last, he had found the easiest way to escape poverty. All those years of struggling, working from morning till night, begging customers to pay their debt, none of it mattered anymore. With this shoe, life would be different. Life would be easy. His stomach rumbled. He realized he had not eaten all day. With a grin, he grabbed a few notes, stepped out of his shop, and bought a hot plate of rice and meat from the nearest food seller. For the first time in a long time, he ate like a rich man. That night, he lay on his mat, staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep. His mind raced with possibilities. If I can steal money without being caught, what else can I do? His journey with the magic shoe had only just begun, and he had no idea where it would lead him. Thanks guys for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel to support us, like, share, and do not forget to tell us the country or the cities you are watching from. Thank you guys, we love you all.